Okay. Ugh. We are back. And I have to say something. I used to be someone that thought, we live in reality, and reality and fantasy are two different things that never coincide because reality is what happens in real life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a joke. This is not fake. This is absolutely real when I tell you that we have once again broken reality into a billion pieces because Deji is fighting Floyd Mayweather. I know some of you guys are in your car, you're running errands, you're not necessarily paying attention to the screen, but hey, listen to me when I tell you Deji is fighting Floyd Mayweather. I know the one question on everyone's mind, and that has to be, what the hell is going on? I might actually have some answers. So the breakdown, let's go. Okay, so Deji and Floyd Mayweather, I even now just saying it out of my mouth, it doesn't feel real. And I know there's still a couple of little hurdles that they're gonna have to cross here to get over the finish line to make this thing official, but for almost all intents and purposes, it is already official. Now, I've known about this for about a week or so now, as far as it being a rumor and talking with people behind the scenes, but I didn't want to confirm it until I absolutely knew for sure because of how ridiculous this sounded, but it became very serious very quick. Now, with that being said, let's talk about why this fight is happening for both guys. Well, on Floyd's end, his name, Floyd Money Mayweather. Say what you will about the guy, he is one of, if not the greatest of all time, and he understands how to make money doing what he does. These are exhibitions that don't have any sanctioning, that don't have any judging, that aren't put on anyone's record. And in reality, Floyd does them as almost an appearance, like an autograph signing for your favorite celebrity or a meet and greet, except Floyd is still providing the same entertainment that you saw him as the greatest of for all of his career. The difference is here, there is no real risk of Floyd getting hurt, especially with Deji. This is not a competitive boxing match. This will not be a competitive boxing match. It is entertainment on Floyd's end. He's going to get paid probably 8 figures to do so. So if there's a why for Floyd, that is it. And I saw some people getting upset with Deji for taking this, like, well, it doesn't make sense for Deji. Why would he do this? He could have continued in the YouTube boxing scene, and he can still do that. That's another thing too, is like, yes, Deji is stepping outside of the YouTube boxing scene for a second here, but he's going to get paid. I don't know the number, but I do know they accepted very quickly when Floyd's team came and offered this to Deji's team. So whatever it is, they're happy with, obviously, and he's probably going to get paid tenfold what he would to fight another YouTuber. And of course, this is a massive W for Deji. Like, he lands a single punch on Floyd Mayweather. It's a huge victory for YouTube boxing, and that'll feed into the GOAT Deji memes, and it'll be the one time that we could replay Deji landed a big left hand on Floyd Mayweather. Those are the W's that we will take. There's really not a way Deji can take a massive L unless Floyd decides he is not happy with how that Logan Paul fight went. What I mean by that is Logan survived Floyd Mayweather. And as much as people say Floyd carried him and he never wanted to knock him out, he absolutely did. He absolutely tried, but could not because Logan was so much bigger. Deji is not Logan. And that doesn't mean skill boxing. He's just not physically what Logan is. He's not 6'3". He's not 210 pounds. He doesn't have Logan's reach. And those things were a massive contributing factor to how Logan survived that fight and had some success, was able to keep Floyd off him for a little bit just with his jab and being able to be as long as he was. Floyd couldn't get to him as easily as he's going to get to Deji. And Logan, let's not forget, took 8 months to specifically prepare for Floyd Mayweather. Deji has 8 weeks. This is not a competitive fight at all. We know this. This is not, there's no competition here. This is strictly entertainment, but Deji has to be careful because if Floyd comes out and says, you know what, I don't like the way the last one went, I'm gonna hurt this kid as payback, he absolutely can do that. We're talking about one of the greatest boxers to ever live, has 20 different styles, things that Deji has never come close to seeing. And Deji, yes, is a little bigger, but we are far closer in height and weight than Logan and Floyd were, and Floyd will absolutely go to town on Deji if he feels like it. Even when he's damn near 50, even when he's a little slower, even when he's retired, this is still Floyd, and he can still do whatever he wants, whenever he wants in that ring with guys around his size. So that's the only concern I have. If you're Deji, you have to be careful in there. And I don't know exactly what the rule set of this thing is going to be. I know there's no judging. This is an exhibition, no winner or loser unless someone gets knocked the out. So Deji's got to protect himself in that way, but I think it's a massive dub for him. Like, yes, he's not going to be able to fight Bryce Hall or Joe Weller or any of those guys. Those fights will still be there if Deji wants those fights later on. Like, they're not going anywhere. So of course he had to make this choice, and fair play to him. It takes balls to fight Floyd Mayweather. It does. And it's not like Logan, who is fighting him 60 pounds less, and Logan really has nothing to fear outside of it being Floyd, and, you know, Floyd can hurt anyone. Deji has taken on, in my opinion, a bigger challenge than Logan did because he's around Floyd's size, around Floyd's weight, around Floyd's height, which makes this fight even more dangerous because he can actually stop Deji whenever he wants to. And Deji's going to have to find a way in these next 8 weeks to prepare as much as possible for one of the greatest boxers that's ever lived. But yeah, there it is. That's all I can say right now. This could get dangerous for Deji, but it's a challenge. And depending on how this fight goes, if Deji lands some punches and actually goes the distance and survives, it's a massive W for YouTube boxing, regardless of how good or bad he looks. And the last thing I'll say is I hope Deji's getting paid. Listen, Liam and those guys at OP, they do a great job with their fighters, with Gib, with Deji, when Liam was with KSI. They do a great job of getting their guys paid the correct amount, whatever they're owed. So I'm hoping that they learn from the Logan situation. We don't want to have any of that shit happen, so hopefully Deji gets paid in full, and if that happens and he's able to get out there relatively unscathed, it's a massive W. But like I said, it's Deji and Floyd Mayweather, and I guarantee you never thought those two names would be coinciding in any sort of boxing talks, but it's 2022, it's YouTube boxing, and that's just where the we are. I'm hearing there's going to be press conferences in the US. There's going to be some other press conferences done possibly closer to the fight in Dubai. I don't know anything outside of that right now, but I will say one more time just to make sure you guys understand, whether you believe it or not, whether you're ready or not, November 13th, Deji apparently is going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather, and I don't know what happens here, but Deji better be careful because Floyd Mayweather may still be a little upset over that Logan fight and looking for someone to take it out on. I don't know what happens, but I guess we'll find out.